Get started with our August Thrust Day. So if you guys could please give a warm round of applause for our new students. They will be starting today and have their flights on the remainder of the week. I'm going to make this pretty quickly because we got some awesome guest speakers for today. I'm going to start off with the announcements and then we'll move on to the pinning ceremony. So coming up September 17th, we have the Addison Oktoberfest. It's like a little pretty much a festival. It's the name in itself. So a lot of us will be out there right after work. So it starts around 5 p.m. We'll have more details to follow as we get closer to that date, and the QR code will be set up around the school. So just keep an eye out. Don't forget, this week is Thrust Tuesday for Chick-fil-A. It's the first and third Tuesday of every month. Just show up with your uniform and you'll get a free mystery item. It might be fries, it might be nuggets. I don't know, but just let me know what you guys get. So that's pretty much it. So I'm going to move on to the pinning ceremony, and it'll be quick. I'm going to announce private, instrument, commercial, and so on and so forth of what students have completed their check rides and their EOCs. So we'll start off with private. We have Jacob Barrett. You're here? Private, I said it. Sweet. Amor Bearcat. No more. Austin Ekern. Cooper. Aiden Lindsay. Yep. Janelle Henry, Troy Kirk, Jacob Hill, and Eric Martinez. Sweet, awesome work, guys. Congratulations. All right, moving on to instrument. Simon Spinelli. Where's Simon? Alejandra Flam, Danny Root, Diego Contreras, Kevin York, Lane Tebbs, Darren Bonahue, Stevan Raval, Preston Brown, Mason Erickson, G-Sun. Where's G-Sun? Jackson Renz, Nathaniel Brown-Lee, no instrument, huh? Interesting. Oh, no, we got G-Sun. G-Sun, congratulations. Wait, G-Sun, come back for the picture. Awesome. Great work. Alrighty, moving on to our commercial. Now again, I'm sorry for the wait times. Andrew Cordes. Hi there, Andrew. James Ashcraft, Ty Spihar, Alyssa Hoppenstedt, Jaden Yu, Lucas Hayes, Noah Wright, Alex Barrera, Cameron with a K, Jod, Darren Otoya, Ryan Gibson, Robert Mullen, William Adams, Gustavo Chavez, Jonathan Berg, Cade Williams, Matthew Martin, and Max Siddons. Oh yeah, that's a good group right there. Awesome. Congratulations, guys. What's up? Alrighty, moving on for our CFI, our Certified Flight Instructors. Lane Garofalo, Alexander Hathaway, Zach Everett, Robert Blackfox, Karen Dillon, Tony Donaldson, Kent Dubois, Nick Pace, Luke Martin, Landon Fisher, Gabriel Prince, Carolina Yeager, Jarius Pace, Scott Fujita, and Colton Bowe. Sweet, excellent work, great job. Alrighty, we're gonna go ahead and go to our CFII rating. May I please have Logan Throgmorton, Sarah Lonnie, Jonah Bailey, Nathan Carl, Trevor French. Nicole Robbins is in the middle of a check ride with Bill, so we'll remember her. Tyler Levon, Kristen Holden, Bo Bowden, Joss Petrie, Chris Green, Caden Kingston, Gavin Wallace, Waldron Byers, Marika Mendesoon. Oh, I think it's just you, Logan. Oh. Awesome, thank you guys. Moving on to our our twin engine flyers. Jace Maldonado, Gavin Wallace, Caden Kingston, Bo Brown, Josh Petrie, Gustavo Chavez, Sam Lee. There he is. Tyler Levon, Marika Mendesoon, Nicole Robbins, getting her MEI check right. Luke Crane, Austin Nelson, Kareem Zahir, Tommy Arbino, Ali, Brighton Caruthers, Ashley Allen, Ian Barb, Daniel Arias, Ian Rosenow, Andrew Keller, Matt Ribb, Ryan Hovey, Brett Bowman, Hazel Ghani, and Lucas Melson. Sweet. Great work, guys. Quick mention to our 5 that have completed MEI, and you can complete MEI after you've done the multi-course. Anita Amon, Brett Bowman, Ashley Allen, Cheyenne Otts, and Nicole's on her check ride, so she'll be on this list pretty soon. But if you guys can give them a round of applause, that would be incredible. Those are all the major announcements that I have for today. Be sure to welcome the new students here. They're going to be going through the same program that y'all guys went through. There are some changes happening, and I think Patrick wanted to make a quick announcement regarding those changes. Patrick, you had some news for us, a new system? It is Patrick, our CEO. Please welcome Patrick.
How's everybody doing today? Well, welcome. So for those of you that don't know me, my name is Patrick Arnzen. I'm the CEO of Thrust Flight, and I'm so excited for everybody that's starting with us today. Can everybody that's starting with us today stand up? I'm sorry if they've already done this. Just want to be able to pick y'all out, so welcome. I am so glad, you guys can sit down. I am so glad that you guys are here. You guys are embarking on an amazing journey. You know, this has been an amazing journey for me. My journey started back in like 1997, so probably before a lot of you guys were born. But you guys are gonna make some of the best friends that you have ever met in this program. And it's gonna be a slog. I guarantee you, this is probably gonna be the hardest thing that you've ever done, right? But what what's worth doing that isn't hard, right? Like when you look back on your life, you don't generally look back and say, wow, that was really easy and it was a good time, right? This is going to be super, super hard, but I promise you're going to look back with very fond memories and make some of the best friends you've ever made here. So welcome, guys. Thank you so much. I think everybody is aware that we are off Flight Schedule Pro now. A little bit unexpected, but everybody on the operations team has pivoted really, really well. In fact, let's give a round of applause for all of our operations folks and our technology folks. I mean, I tell you what, like it's weekends like the last weekend when we had kind of this surprise where we had to change the system over kind of overnight that really, I think, demonstrates how wonderful the culture at Thrust Flight is and how people, when there's a challenge, they dig in and like it just means the world to me. So like from the bottom of my heart, everybody that worked on that project, amazing job and really, really well done. Everybody should be getting an email today, all the students today, for the new login portal. I would ask everybody to be patient with us as we roll this new scheduling system out, incorporating it in with our new learning management system. Be patient, over-communicate, instructors over-communicate with your students as to when their flights are, that sort of thing. So yeah, welcome guys. Skywest, thank you guys so much for being here. Really appreciate that. Super excited. Maybe about a future partnership with those guys. We have Ty and the new tower manager from Addison Airport that's going to come and talk to you about listening to instructions and not doing stupid things. Although I'm told we didn't do any stupid things, it was other people doing stupid things, so yay Thrust. And I don't know if I missed anybody, but if I did, I'm sorry. So anyway, guys, thank you so much. Really appreciate every single one of you guys for showing up in this hot weather. And we'll see y'all soon. I look forward to meeting all you guys.
Awesome. Thank you, Patrick. So really quick, before we get started with our guest speaker, can you guys give a warm welcome to Kadisha. She is going to do the pinning ceremony for Tim's.
Hello, everybody. My name is Khadija. I am the program coordinator of the maintenance department. And to give you guys a bit of perspective of how the maintenance department is run, you essentially go through 3 blocks: generals, airframe, and power plant, and each block takes about 3 months to go through. So with that being said, we're gonna go and honor and praise the students that just completed blocks and are graduating to the next block. And we will start off with airframe. Now, a lot of these students may not be here at this time because they're probably studying for their oral and practical, but we still want to honor them. The first person is Jose Flores. Corey Carefree. Jerry. Ethan Roberson. David Castillo. Parker Williams. Manuel Seriana, Victor Mueller, Molly Kaplan, and Jose Corona. Very good, congratulations. And the next section will be power plant. Perfect. For power plant, we have Evan Wagner. And for generals, we have Joe Warden. Joseph Royer. Jared Paskey. And Jacob Trong. And I want to honor somebody who's not on the list today, who is here, who has done a phenomenal job completing the program, and he did not know I was going to call him up here, and that is Michael Francesco. Perfect. And finally, we have the students who completed the entire program. That means they did all of their written exams on top of their oral and practical. And that is Ashutosh Patel, Matthew Smith, and David Hernandez. And a running joke that I have is that a lot of our students who have completed the program usually don't show up because they already have jobs. So, speaks to the program. Thank you so much. All right, Michael, where you at? Oh, there you go. I was about to hand you the mic.
That's all good.
Thanks, Michael.
Have our first guest speaker real quick. It'll be Mr. Ty. Should come on up.
All right, Corbin, stand up. Stand up. This is my boy, one of them. Y'all better be nice to him, because if you're not nice to him, well, we won't go there. You're going to be nice to him. Stay focused. Yeah, you can sit down now. Good job. All right, some housekeeping items, some things that come up over the last couple of months, and it's been more and more, not thrust flight. When you're arriving at Addison and you're clear to land and you're rolling out on the runway, you don't stop on the runway. If you can make an early exit, tell the tower, hey, I can make golf, or continue down until you're told what exit to take, right? That's how we do it. When you stop on the runway, there's usually somebody right behind you, and they're usually a lot faster. So we don't stop on the runway. Who's been here for a while? What's one of my pet peeves? You always use your, there you go, who said it? Right there, always use your call sign. We're seeing more and more of a trend with some people not using their call signs. So if you're reading back clearances, reading back instructions, always use your call sign. That is very important here. There's 7 flight schools out here. Mistakes will happen. Maintain your situational awareness. If you're not sure of the instruction, ask. If we say give way, and you think you can go first, say, do you want us to follow? Because it's unclear, we will reiterate what we want you to do. We've had a couple of aircraft cut off aircraft that were already established on Alpha. When we said give way, follow, they cut them off anyway. Exiting the runway, through the dashes, over the bars onto Alpha, right? That's how we do it. Unless you're told to hold short of Alpha. When you're told to hold short of Alpha, don't go through the dashes, don't go over the bars, hold short of Alpha. Stay on the west side of those lines. We've had aircraft still go across them and then cut off somebody that was taxiing on Alpha, and it's just not a good situation. So we try to avoid that. We try to maintain the flow on Alpha. You did not get the AC going in here, Corbin. Jesus, it's hot. But that's what we're trying to do. So sometimes we're going to have you continue down all the way down to Delta, so that way we can get aircraft out of Romeo, out of Sierra. Everybody's northbound, so we try to maintain a good, steady flow. All right, does anybody have any quick questions? Anyone? Somebody always has a question. Wow. So where's all the new students at? Right here? All you guys, boy, they put y'all up front, didn't they? It's kind of embarrassing. I'm going to start calling on you. So you have just joined one of the largest, smallest communities in the world. What does that mean? You're going to get your pilot's license, you're going to go somewhere, and you're going to see this guy over here 5 years from now. and he's going to know you by how you acted. Everybody's going to know somebody that knows you. You're in the largest, smallest community. Your reputation starts today. Your work ethic starts today. If you study hard, you come in, you're ready to go, you have that positive mentality, that positive attitude, your instructors who are going to move up to the airlines are going to remember you. And one day when they're there with, like the gentleman in the back, with 3 and 4 bars on his shoulder boards, he's going to know you because of somebody else that's here. And they're going to know your personality, what you were like. It's the largest, smallest community you will ever be in. So you focus, get it done, stay positive. It's not easy. It's not supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be a challenge because you can't be weak and you can't make mistakes. This is a very unforgiving environment when it comes to mistakes. So with that being said, does anybody have any questions for me? This is a first. Wow. Nobody? How fast is too fast on final for a game bird? Well, you know, as long as you're not the Vision Jet trying to land at Oshkosh and blow your tires out. Yeah. No, that's that time of year. We get blown out tires because of the heat. But what is your threshold speed? Is it like 120?
Well, basically I maintain about 180, 190.
Yeah.
Never over 200 because that would be illegal.
I don't write speeding tickets.
I don't and then I'll start slowing kind of on like maybe a half mile final.
Yeah.
And then I'll cross the threshold to maybe 100, 120 sometimes.
Yeah.
And then I touch down it.
You know, just don't be that citation who likes to cross threshold at 150, and because one day he's going to have to make a left turn on Lindbergh to get back to his hangar on uniform, because he's just going to go right across the EMAS because he's just going so fast.
Well, it's so funny when I come in that fast. You guys it's like Moses parting the Red Sea. Like all I
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So when Noah and I were growing up together, no. So he got his start in 97. I got my start in 91. So I'm really old. So no questions. We're going to keep everything. Yes.
I noticed the scaffolding on the tower. Are you guys having some work done or something along those lines?
Yeah, we are. So what we're doing is we're going to cut the tower in half, and they're bringing in the equipment. They're going to raise it up another 2 stories. And I got some oceanfront property in Arizona, if you believe that. No, we're doing some work on the roof to have it rehabbed, and so we don't get any leaks, because water dropping on electronics is never good. So we're trying to get that fixed. That's all that is. You like that first part, though, where we're going to go?
Kinda got my hopes up a little bit.
I know, so did I. Anybody else? Yes, sir. Vodka. Looks like water. No, as you go through training as an air traffic controller, you learn to cope and deal and adjust to the different stress levels. And after 34 and a half years, there will be days in an air-conditioned room where you will still sweat. When I used to work in the radar environment, the room was kept at 66 degrees. And I would get up off position and I would just be covered in sweat because of the stress, the adrenaline, and the high blood pressure kicking in. And yeah, so yeah, that's how we deal with stress. So you get used to it, you adjust to it, and you can, usually the people that cannot usually don't make it through the training. Yes?
What's your biggest pet peeve?
Not using your call sign. That was like the first question. What's my pet peeve? That is my biggest, okay. In 34 and a half years, every time we've had an issue, it was an aircraft not reading back instructions with their call signs. I have trained over 100 people, and one of the emphasis items in their training is they didn't use their call sign with that read back. Get the read back with the call, and the pilot will go, 12 Bravo Alpha, holding short, runway 16, full length. And that's exactly how he says it every time. Or he'll just say, Roger, and he'll say, I need that with your call sign. That is one of the biggest issues we have, my opinion. Because one day you're going to be working, say, a 737 flying out of DFW, and you're going to get a climb clearance that's going to sound something like, climb so as to be out of flight level 270 in 6 minutes, climb maintain flight level 370. And that's exactly how it's going to sound because I worked center. And you're going to say, Roger. Now I have to go back and say, climb and maintain flight level 270 in 6 minutes, climb and maintain flight level 370. Read back with your call sign. Instead of moving on to the next aircraft and giving them that instruction. Because I'm trying to get you above somebody, usually an Airbus, because they're fast, but they can't climb. And you're going to be flying a max, and you can climb and stay fast. So I'm trying to get you to top. That's what we try to do. So use your call sign. If you don't understand an instruction, ask for clarity. If you're a solo, say you're solo. To me, to Tracon, and to center. It helps. We're going to keep a better eye on you. Just the one good eye, because the other eye's not good.
What's your busiest time of day?
All day. All day. When we're not talking to airplanes and we're training somebody, we're going through questions. We're asking them about approach plates. We're asking them about the rules, the orders, trainings, memorandums of understandings, letters of agreement between us and Tracon. There's a lot of learning to be done. You're always learning in this career. There's so many changes and so many things happening right now so fast, especially with the updates in technology. I'm on my 6th communications console in 34 years. I've gone from raw radar feeds to digital radar feeds, and I've gone from a blue radar to a yellow radar to an orange radar, and this is the way the scope just looks, and green too. So everything changes. You have to stay on top of it. What'd you want, Corbin? My ATC school, because I was in the Navy, was compressed. It was, God, that was 35 years ago, dude. I want to say it was 4 months. Then I went to tactical training, and then I reported on board a vessel in the Gulf War. The first time I said radar contact was to a Tomcat. It's a retired aircraft now, that's how old we are. But it had lost its nose cone, and it had taken out the canopy on the aircraft, and the pilot had lost vision in both eyes. So we had a flight join up, pilot was talking to him, we were talking to him, we locked onto him with our what was called the ACLS equipment. It's an automated system that landed the F-14 on the flight deck, and both the pilot and the RIO, the radar intercept officer, were evacuated out of the aircraft. The pilot got the Navy Cross because he was able to maintain controlled flight even though he couldn't see anything. And the RIO also got one, but they lived. And that was back in 1991. Long time ago. Oh, I love working tower. I've worked, well, of course I work here. I'm the Apache guy. And I worked Lake Charles Tower and Tracon. Worked Kingsville, Texas, Tower and Tracon just south of Corpus Christi. I worked the tower in Mogadishu, Somalia. I worked the tower out in the deserts of, well, we'll just say, leave it at the deserts because we moved. But yeah. I've always enjoyed working tower, but I've also enjoyed working anything like Tracon. Anything that can get real intense real quick, yeah, I'm all there. Get my blood pressure up. Anything else?
Would you mind telling us how is the process in working with departure or approach when you have aircraft leaving Addison on coming back? Do you guys know like the last thing they told us when they're coming back? How does that work?
We don't know anything that they told you. They can tell you to enter the Plano recovery. If you don't tell me you're on the Plano recovery, I don't know. We're just assuming. The coordination could probably be better, but we've all been doing this for so long, we just see where you're coming from and have that expectation of what they've told you. Whether you're coming in over the Skillman, when you're coming in out of the southeast, if you're coming in from the east, and we see you moving up to the northeast corner of the airspace, then we assume that you're coming in on the Plano recovery. So nonverbal communication does happen, like when you're coming in for the ILS approach. They will put ILS in the flight tag for us that we watch. So if you're going to come over for a tower tour, we can show you all this. We just ask that you don't bring COVID to the tower. I just missed a week of work because of that. Call in advance to set up your tour and don't bring COVID with you. And we'll get everything set up and you can see exactly what we're talking about. Yep.
All right, give Ty a big round of applause. Thank you for swinging on by. Appreciate your time greatly. All righty. Skywest, are y'all ready? Are y'all ready? Y'all guys know what to do.
Let me know if you can't hear me, and I'll try and hold the mic closer. I'm Ken Evans. I'm a Boise-based ERJ First Officer. I've been with Skywest now for 4 years next month. And thanks, Kevin. I'm sure the question will come up. I started my flight training back in 2006 with the Army, flying helicopters. And then I had a 9-year break in my flying. The fan's working, so I probably don't need those. And didn't think I'd fly because I didn't have the hours to do anything with helicopters. I only had about 1,000 hours. So I did something different. So I had a 9-year break in flying before I came here. And then my job was ending. I had a good severance package, and my wife told me to go fly. And told her I couldn't do it. I told her that for several weeks. And she kept, for lack of a better word, nagging. So I finally looked into it. And she was right. I found out I could fly again. So I did my fixed wing training 4 years ago. And then was very naive, said I'll just get my ratings and I'll come to the airlines and I'll have another job, and it was just that simple. It is not that simple. I was fortunate. I didn't have to wait the long amount of time for the job offer and the interview and coming to Skywest. I think when I finished my training in June, I started training with Skywest 3 months later. So that is not typical, just to set some expectations, but that's kind of my backstory. Like I said, retired from the Army 9 years ago, almost 10 years ago. And so for me, this is a second career. I love flying and would be perfectly content to stay at Skywest. But with that, we'll go ahead and go to a small presentation. Thank you. And we've got a maintenance guy here as well. He's going to have another one. He's going to have a little bit more detail about the planes and stuff. So once I'm done, we'll just go straight to him, and then we can answer any questions between the three of us. We've got Kevin here as well. We'll just do a small Q&A after both presentations, just to try and speed things along, and he might actually answer something that I don't. That's the maintenance presentation. Let's see. Sorry about that. All right. We both have the same first slide, so. And some of this might be redundant, so I might let him talk. Here's our guiding principles at Skywest, so you kind of understand what kind of company we are. As I've been flying with them for 4 years, I can attest, this is how we prefer to do operations. We have a very strong pilot group, maintenance group, dispatchers, you name it. Everybody here at Skywest, we try to live by these principles. I'm not going to read them to you. They're on our company page. You can go ahead and look there. If you're having an interview later on, they might pop up. But it's a great place to work. I love the atmosphere. We're a fairly large company. As a regional, we're the 5th largest airline in the country, behind Delta, United American, and Southwest. So we might be regional, but we're rather large. And it still has a small company feel to it. So that's one thing I really love about this company. This is where we were in 1972. You kind of saw it on the screen. We've been here since 72, going on 54 years now. It was just started by a businessman who wanted an easier way to commute to Salt Lake City from southwestern Utah. And he purchased a small little Cessna of some kind. And now, 54 years later, that's our flight route. Our map changes all the time, but we fly all across the U.S., into Mexico, into Canada. So even though we are regional, we do fly internationally within North America. There's something for everybody. We have 21 domiciles between the ERJ and the CRJ aircraft, which is what we fly. And this is also on our skywest.com website, so you can go ahead and see that. It's pretty accurate, although Tucson is now becoming an ERJ base instead of CRJs. A lot of larger hubs, they have both. So if you want to be in Chicago, both aircraft would work, but if you want to be up in where I am at in Boise, ERJ is your only option. That's why I chose it. It was all about domicile choices for me. But 54 years later, we've got 21 bases just for the domiciles for the crews. Maintenance will go in a little more detail about theirs. And we fly across the country, aside from Florida. There's only a couple places in Florida for some reason. Probably because there's so many regionals and most of them are back east that they cover Florida quite well. Our company as a whole, we continually get great reviews from Newsweek, great place to work, Fortune magazine, world's most admired companies in 2026 and greatest workplaces as well for 2026. So it is fantastic. I've got 12 years left to fly, and I have no problem if I stay the rest of my career here. It's a blast. I love the regional flying. We also are the only regional that fly for all 4 of the main lines: Alaska, Delta, American, United. We have agreements with several of these. With Delta and Alaska, we have a guaranteed pilot interview program. So if you're here at SkyWest and you're a captain and you want to go to those 2, we have a program in place where you can get that guaranteed interview. Not a guaranteed job, but a guaranteed interview, which is half the battle. And then we've got the Aviate program, which you probably heard of. There's an Aviate program with the student side of things, and then here at SkyWest, once you come to us, if you're not already an Aviate, you can apply to the Aviate program through SkyWest, which gives some additional benefits too. Here's what we're looking for. We get this question all the time. What do I do to stand out, to be competitive, to be attractive to the company? Obviously, we want you to be proficient as an aviator. We want you to be able to manipulate the plane and do what we need it to do to get from point A to point B. But we also are looking for the professionalism. You're going to be in the airports. You're the face of the company. You're in uniform. People recognize you. And I don't know how many times I've been approached by passengers that are scared of flying. They want to know where some location is, what gate, where gate C6 might be in an airport I've never been to. You got to be tactful. You got to be professional and try and put some of these people at ease, help them out, whatever the case might be. I walked an older Chinese lady from one gate to another in Chicago because she didn't speak any English, and I had 5 hours to sit. So I took it upon myself and did that. Those opportunities always present themselves. So not only do you need to be able to fly, you need to be able to professional, be positive. Nobody wants to fly with somebody like me who's pessimistic or cynical. Try and be positive. Teamwork. Every flight I go on, it's a whole new team. I might have flown with the captain before, the flight attendants, but it's always a different mix. And you have to be able to build that rapport immediately from the very first flight and carry it through for the next 4 days. Willingness to learn, it never stops. I do interviews for new hires, and I'm constantly learning things about GA that I never knew because I was a military pilot, and then I came here. It's a never-ending process in aviation. Even once you're here, there's always something new you can learn about the aircraft. There's always annual training you got to prepare for. There's always something. So be open, be ready to learn. Leadership, we're hiring you to be captains eventually. If you want to go to the main lines, they're going to want you to be a PIC at a regional or someplace else. They're going to want that captain time. So that's not going to fall on me, is it? Leadership, we're hiring captains, even though you're going to be a first officer first. Good judgment. There's all sorts of decisions that need to be made in the cockpit, at the gate, dealing with passengers. And lastly, the cultural fit. We want to know we can fly with you for 4 days and have a good time. You can be professional and have those other attributes, and that you'll fit in with the culture at Skywest. Skywest invests in our pilots. Just talking a little bit about a pay. Captain pay, I think they're basing that off of a 5-year captain, about $216,000. First officer over $90,000. I can agree with the first officer. I made that my first year. I would have made it my second year, but I went out on medical, so my work hours went down considerably. 76-hour monthly guarantee, whether you're on reserves or you're flying. Profit sharing bonus, no union dues. We do the ATP CTP course in-house now, so you'll come to us for that week of training as well. It's hard to read with the waving. Great quality of life, work rules, upgrade, eligible in 2 years. They basically say you should have your 1,000 hours to upgrade in about 2 years. It's not a guarantee, but I had my hours, I think, in 17 months, 18 months, something like that, and I wasn't working very hard to get that. I mentioned the guaranteed pilot interviews with United, or not with United, with Delta and Alaska and the United Aviate program. And we've never furloughed a pilot in 54 years. Even during COVID, we just reduced the amount of hours that everybody was flying, but everybody got some piece of the pie so that they didn't have to look for another employer. Pilot pay examples, I'll just flash these up real quick. They just roughly calculate the most you can fly is 1,000 block hours per year times your base salary. That's how they come up with those numbers. And then they do some overtime, double, triple, time and a half pay. So that as a first year FO, there's the chance you could make 98,000, and as a 5-year captain, up to 197,000 or so. That's a good estimate. I'm very conservative. I just take that minimum guarantee in my base salary and I call it good. I don't ever work overtime trips, or very rarely, just kind of the way it works for me in Boise. And I don't factor in the per diem that I'm going to get, which is a few $1,000s more a year as well. So it's a good starting point. You're going to hear this a lot. As far as work rules, you'll hear of credit, block, trip rigs, duty rigs, just the various ways that we calculate, just looking on the right. So for our duty rig, we have a 1 to 2. So for every 2 hours of work, I get paid for an hour of flight. If I have a 12-hour duty day, I'll get paid 6. If my block time, which is what I fly, is more than that, I get paid the greater of the two. A trip rig, if I'm gone for 80 hours, I get paid 4 to 1, so I'll get paid 20 hours for 80 hours away from home. Some of the things that you'll hear as you come into the industry, dead ed pay is just the flight time to get from point A to point B when they want you working outside of your base. Per diem, $2.25 an hour for every hour you're gone, and then your holiday pay. We have 6 holidays that we get paid for at 4.3 hours. And then we also have the 401k. The company matches contributions 4% for the first 4 years, 6% from 5 to 9 years, and then 12% for 10 years as a direct company contribution. One of the better 401k packages at the regionals. I know the main lines, they do quite a bit better. So just some of the financial benefits working at Skywest as well. Talked about that a little bit earlier. Once you're a captain here at Skywest, you got your 250 hours of PIC time. You can apply for a guaranteed interview with those too. And then United Aviate. Once again, you would just apply through the company website, United Aviate program. At 1,600 hours of PIC time, you can flow to United or sooner. If they need pilots, they might take you to 1,000 hours through the Aviate program. Or you apply, they see that you have a lot of experience, and they just say, we're not going to wait, we're going to take you now, and you just get hired on. That's your job interview with United, either for an immediate job or for a flow-through program. So another advantage to coming to Skywest. And a QR code that, with all the wavy breeziness, you probably won't be able to scan very well, but we've got other stuff in the back. You can come and talk to us there. That's my part of the presentation. I'll let Cameron come over, and then, like I said, we'll do the Q&A afterwards.
All right, how y'all doing today, other than being hot? Good. All right, let me know if you guys can't hear me. I started in aviation at the age of 19. I got my A&P license, worked at a couple of other companies prior to making my way to Skywest. Skywest, as our pilot just told you, is a great place to work. One of the big issues when you first get out of school is going to be getting experience working on aircraft. One of the best places to get experience is a regional airline. You get to work on the whole airplane, nose to tail. You're not going to get bottlenecked working on just one part of the airplane for long periods of time. So it's a great place to get a lot of experience really fast. We also have a great training department. I'll talk about that a little bit more here in a few minutes. I'm going to show you guys a quick video. It's a time lapse of what an overnight looks like at a maintenance hangar. So you're going to see the light through the windows in the hangar at the beginning. You'll see the sun go down, planes coming in, getting worked on, going back out. Hopefully you guys can see it and hear it from wherever you're at. Let me stop a little bit. All right, so you guys, hopefully you can see that. That was an overnight in a hangar in Salt Lake City. It's one of our bigger hangars. If you were able to see, you probably noticed there were some Delta paint schemes on our aircraft. We own most of our aircraft, but we will paint them and fly them for Delta, American, Alaska, and United. So I think the only one you didn't see in that video was an American, but we do also work on those and fly those all over the country. So I'm going to skip through a couple slides because we've already covered some of this stuff. Obviously, we were founded in 1972. We do fly probably a little over 2,600 flights a day to over 250 destinations across the country. The guiding principles we already went over, so I'll skip that part also. We do really all work together using these guiding principles. We have won a lot of awards. On the pilot side, they show you the 1972 version of this. We have the 1994 version of it. So from 1972 to 1994, we didn't grow a lot, but we were kind of covering more of the West Coast back in 1994. And then obviously this is what our route map looks like today. So a lot of flights every day. All of these flights happen every day, at least most of them, unless something goes horribly wrong. and we have to cancel. But all these flights happen every day. The aircraft that we fly, originally built by Bombardier, CRJs. We've got the 200. That's our oldest plane we have now, the 50 passenger. We also have the CRJ 700, which is a bigger aircraft. It was basically, they stretched the fuselage, same manufacturer, but we were able to fit extra people in that plane. And then that worked out so well, they stretched it again and made a CRJ 900, and we can fly even more people in those. You'll notice I skipped the CRJ 550. The reason I skipped it is because it is a CRJ 700. We just made the seating configuration a little bit different so that we could have a first class in there, and we fly those with 50 passengers. A lot of our 700s are being converted to CRJ 550s, but they're other than the seat configuration, they're essentially the same airplane. And then last but not least is our ERJs, our ERJ 175. That's our newest fleet type that we work on and fly. And that fleet is growing fast. We're getting a lot of new ERJs all the time. Like I said before, with a regional airline like Skywest, you're able to work nose to tail. You can gain a lot of experience in a short period of time. And we have a great training department, so we can get you trained up. It's a great stepping stone also. We would rather our mechanics stay with Skywest, obviously, but if you guys are looking to work with a major like United or Delta someday, you can come work at Skywest, and trust me, after you've been with us for a few years, they would be glad to take you from us. They do it all the time. We have 28 locations across the country now, a few more than the pilot side. We just added a line station in Austin. That's our newest location. They're also looking at more locations farther east to come in the future. So we're always expanding. What do we look for in an employee? We get that question a lot. How do you get a leg up on all the other candidates out there? I'm going to talk about in a few minutes our AMT Pathway program. That's a good way to get your foot in the door before you even do an interview. I'll talk about that next. Hiring, right now we're hiring somewhere between probably 32 and 38, depending on the location. The locations have different overrides, so you may make more at one location than the other. But very competitive for a regional airline. And then it just goes up and up from there, obviously. Our top out is 18 years. It's pretty long compared to some of the other airlines, but pretty competitive pay for a regional airline. Top tier benefits for us, as I already talked about, nose to tail experience on the plane. We do have a fantastic training department, advancement opportunities. In the maintenance department, all of our senior management started as an A&P, going through school, started on the floor working as a mechanic and moved their way up. So the sky's the limit at Skywest as far as management. If you guys are interested in that, we generally hire from within when it comes to that. Tool allowance, after you've been with us for 6 months, we will start giving you a tool allowance to help you purchase tools that you may need. Medical, dental, vision, all typical benefits that you would get. Our 401k is really good compared to a lot of other companies I've seen. You start at 4% match and it goes up to 12% with years served with the company. We have a couple of different bonus programs. One of them is profit sharing. After you've been with the company for a year, you can start getting bonuses, and then there's a second one you start getting after you've been with the company for 2 years. If you're in the AMT Pathway program, you don't have to wait as long to start getting those. So the longer you're in our Pathway program, which I will talk about more in a second, it shortens that amount of time you have to wait for some of these bonus programs. You can start getting them earlier. Company paid life insurance for all full-time employees, and you start accruing paid time off after you've been with the company for 90 days. So pretty good perks. We do not have a union at Skywest, so you won't have to pay union fees. This is an example of what may happen if we have a plane break somewhere at an outstation where we don't have maintenance. We will send our mechanics on road trips. I don't know if you guys can see it up here, but this is an ERJ 175. We had a fuel leak on the right wing. It was about 30 degrees below zero. This was in Nebraska in the middle of the winter. So our mechanics got sent out to fix this airplane. They had to make a little makeshift tent. They bought some tarps at Harbor Freight, built it around the wing, bought some heating lamps. They had to warm it up to the point where they could get that wing sealant to cure so they could fix this plane. The reason we show you this road trip example is because you can make a lot of money on road trips. From the second that you leave your home base location, you're on time and a half. Or if you're in California, you're on double time. You're on overtime the second you leave the hangar. And you're on overtime until you get back. So whether the road trip takes a day or 3 days, you're going to be on overtime the entire time you're gone. The only time you're not is when you're sleeping at the hotel, but you're still getting paid. When you're sleeping at the hotel, you'll still be getting paid straight time. So if you go on a road trip, you're gone for 3 days, you can make a lot of money. And we have mechanics that do this a lot, and they do make a lot of money doing it. We have a few locations, Milwaukee, Chicago, Salt Lake, where we offer a $10,000 sign-on bonus. That comes with the agreement that you stay at that location for 3 years. I would recommend if you want extra money, just work overtime. You can make that $10,000 up and not have to stay at a location for 3 years. But if that's one of the locations you want to be long-term, maybe that's a good option for you. We also have, if you have prior A&P military experience, we have a $7,500 bonus that goes along with that if it qualifies. Advancement opportunities I kind of already talked about, along with upper management. There's a lot of other positions you can do. You can be a mechanic on the floor long term. You can also move up to being an on-the-job trainer, where you teach a lot of the newer mechanics as they come in. You can be a crew lead, shift supervisor, inspector, and like I said, managers. We have managers at all the locations, along with some of our senior management that is in St. George, Utah. So lots of opportunities for you guys. And the most fun thing to talk about, I think, is travel privileges. We have flight benefits through Delta, American, United, Alaska. We also have a lot of Z fares with other airlines where you can fly standby at a discounted rate. So you can travel the world for a lot less money than you'd have to buying tickets. We also have discount programs for cruises, hotels, car rentals, and a lot of other things. So that's pretty fun. That's one of the reasons why I've stayed with Skywest for as long as I have. All right, the AMT Pathway Program, I told you guys I would talk about that. Some of the things that come along with it, it's a 4-step process. You can join. I have flyers back there that will give you a little bit more information. You can get reimbursed for some of your AMP testing fees, so always keep your receipts when you pay for that stuff. We can also give you some moving reimbursement. If you move somewhere for a job, $1,500 plus mileage, so whatever the gas prices are when you move, you'll get paid for mileage also. A lot of perks to the AMT Pathway Program. When you sign up for it, there's no obligation to you at all. So if you're in the Pathway Program for the whole time you're here, and then you go work somewhere else, no big deal. You don't have to pay us back or anything like that. Any of these benefits that you use are yours to keep as long as you end up working for Skywest. If, like I said, if you don't, no harm, no foul. So this is a typical employee. These are some of the benefits you would have to wait for if you were not in the AMT Pathway Program. 401k match. You can start contributing on day one, but the company will not start matching until you're 1 year in. So if you're not in the Pathway Program, you'd have to wait a year for that. Some of our bonus programs you have to wait 2 years for. The longer you're in the Pathway Program, the less time you have to wait. So if, let's say you were in the Pathway Program for 6 months, you'd be able to start getting 401k matching at 6 months instead of having to wait a full year. So it's a really cool program to be in. It also allows us to keep track of you, send you reminders for when you can apply. We want to know when you finish so we can hire you. So if you guys are interested in that, we're on all the social medias, and also have the QR code here, which you guys might not be able to scan. But we do have flyers back there that you can scan. If you guys are interested, come let us know. And that's pretty much my presentation. If you guys want to start with questions, we probably can do the questions back there, I would imagine. But that's all I got. Thanks, guys.
All right, has anybody got any questions about anything? A&P, flight ops? Lots of curious questions. Man, Ken, Cameron, you guys did such a good job, right? Oh,
Would you mind talking about the cadet program?
sure, absolutely. And in fact, I had a feeling that was going to be asked. That's why I'm up here. So hi, my name is Kevin. I work in the hiring department within the Pathway program. 2026 has brought about a little bit of a change for our Pathway program. There were a lot more schools and programs that were available to take advantage of those programs. The powers that be, as of 2026, Thrust is not an approved standard or elite partner within the Pathway program, which means that it is not available for you guys to take advantage of. I wish there was a nicer way to say that. But what I can say, in the 4 years that I've been here, I've seen a lot of different iterations about how we decide to partner with different schools. And the pendulum is always swinging. I've never really seen this thing settle in one particular spot. So for anybody just joining, I know it's a table of newer students, be on the lookout. We're always looking to entertain quality, exceptional pilots wherever we may find them. So maybe in 2027, that will be something that we reevaluate. But for the moment, yeah, on the pilot side of things, Pathway program is not available. Is there any other questions? Go ahead. So I believe it's, I don't want to speak. Is it level 2? You got to be at least a level 2 to go out on a road trip, right? Before I misspeak.
That's going to really be a case-by-case basis. You asked what level I had to be, you would have to be at to go on a road trip. Was that the question? Okay, so I've seen mechanics go on road trips in like their first week. It really just depends on the situation. If that happens, you will be going with somebody who's really experienced if they have to send you. So basically, you would be going to help drive and just help out wherever you can. Obviously, you're not going to know how to troubleshoot the aircraft and fix it the way you need to, but we'll just send you with somebody who does know how to do all that stuff. So there's a potential you could do it right away. There's not necessarily a wait time for that. So it could happen anytime. Anybody else?
Sorry, say again. Sure. Or Ken, do you just want to take that? So he wants to know, just for everybody out here, what kind of things beyond just having minimum ATP requirements would make you more competitive?
Really, it is the minimum ATP, but I tell everybody, if you've got an option between different types of flying, flying the traffic pattern, instructing somebody, or get on a cross-country IFR flight, take the cross-country IFR flight. Cross-country multi-engine time, to me, it's going to look more appealing, but I wouldn't say it's appealing enough that you want to go invest all that money into multi-engine time building. But there's always opportunities to instruct on a cross-country, to build some IFR time, get a safety pilot, and just share the cost and do some IFR time building. I see guys that have turbine time. If they've only got a few hours, it's not going to be a huge amount of experience that's going to set them apart. Somebody that's got 300 or 400 hours of turbine time, there's something going on there. They're working probably in a 135 in a jet. That's quite a bit of experience. So really, ATP minimums is it, and then it's you as a person. Are you interactive, approachable, positive? Do you leave a good impression with me? Ian, wherever he's at, I saw him at Oshkosh. I remembered him. There he is. Saw him when he came back. He left a good impression with me, even though I couldn't remember his name. Getting the face-to-face time is going to make you stand out, as long as you're engaging with me. I've also talked to people that I do all the talking. They won't look me in the eye. They're a little bit introverted. It's not doing you any favors. So network, be engaging, and get that face-to-face time while you're doing your experience of time building. You don't have to be an instructor. That's what most people do. It's a quick way to build hours, and it doesn't cost you as much. But we hire people that do aerial survey work, skydiving operations. It's really just a matter of the individual themselves, and their application. Other questions? You're all dying of the heat as well. Yep.
Go ahead. Uh-huh. Absolutely, yeah. That's one of the perks that I didn't cover. If you're in the AMT Pathway program, you can get in touch with somebody like me. There's one of me at every hangar location across the country. Whether you want to go to I don't know. Let's see, down here we have probably Shreveport. It's probably the closest hangar. We have line stations. We don't do tours there, but you can go to any of the hangar locations that's on one of those flyers back there. And there's going to be a trainer like me, trainer/recruiter at all those locations. So I could get you in touch with a person if you want to go do one of those hangar tours, for sure. Anybody else?
I suppose, do you mind if I will just talk a little bit about the application process for anybody wanting to go into that AMT Pathway program. You can find that directly through our website. At the top of careers, it'll be a big drop down. You'll see AMT Pathway at the bottom. At some point there will be an Apply Now button. It will take you to our general application submission website. Okay, do not let that intimidate you. It's gonna look and just like a job application. Joining that program, we are hiring you as a non-paid employee. That's how we give you a hire date and employee number, and allow you to be building that company seniority while you are here at school. So don't let that deter you. We're not expecting you to move to St. George like it says on the application or anything like that. You are going to receive a couple emails. They'll most likely go to your spam junk folder. Google likes to call it exactly what it is. It's corporate automated email. So do be on the lookout for that. That survey does have a 7-day deadline from the time it's submitted to you. Tell us all about how you love Skywest. You want to work there forever, right? That usually satisfies it. You'll be sent another email. The final step before being fully accepted into the program is to just attend orientation. We've got a designated guy who runs those pretty consistently throughout the month, but I am told that he is willing to work with individuals if you look up on the scheduling platform and none of his orientations align with your date, to reach out to Sean. He's pretty flexible and working on that. But yeah, once you have received an employee number and an official hire date, that is your sign that you have been officially accepted into the program. The only thing to do is to just turn around and continue working here at school. You'll give us your estimated graduation date, and that'll be about the time that we reach out to you if you haven't applied come that time already. Go ahead. So what time can we apply to the AMT pathway? Now. Whip out your phones. The sooner you apply, the sooner you're more senior to your classmates, right? Your hire date will be the day that you get accepted in. So it is available for you guys to join now. Awesome. All right, well, I certainly know how this goes. We're going to finish up here, and then there's going to be a million more questions, right? So we'll be back for an hour. Please come take our stuff. The more you take, the less I have to drive home. So Thanks for being here. Thanks for hosting us, and yeah, keep it up.
Is this on? You're all good. You're all good. I hope you enjoyed your food. Hope you enjoyed the heat. And I hope you enjoyed the speakers. Thank you guys for coming through. And by the way, give us one, or is that still going, Lee? Wave and say woo for the other locations because they're listening. I know we're tired. Can we get one woo and clap, please? I need it. I need it. Thank you. All right. That's how we go out on the end. Thank you.